Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Movie Mates podcast. I'm your host, Josh Winling, and I am joined by my co-host, Ryan Lemur Barnes.
Not an animal, Josh. Not a
Not an animal.
not an animal. So
Get it one day.
hello
Get it
everyone.
one day.
Thank you for the introduction, Josh.
You're always welcome, Ryan. I'll always give you an introduction. Tanner,
Oh,
on the
yeah.
other hand, I'm also
Josh.
joined by Tanner
Rude.
Security Co.
Who am I impersonating?
Josh.
Good job, Jack. Point for you.
Wheeze.
Shut up. That's mean, Tanner.
I mean, it's true.
I mean, yeah, it's true. You're not wrong. And I'm always joined by the gorgeous, the most beautiful, the ladies all love him, Jack Black.
Oh, I thought you were going to
shit, now I'm
introduce
doing
yourself. Wow.
Tanner. Oh, wow. Oh. Shit. Yeah, you can. Ryan, Tanner, can you leave the call for a sec?
Oh, okay.
Didn't you just start the podcast?
God damn it. And today we are going to be reviewing the movie. Just kidding. Midsommar.
La Bamba again?
Again, dude, it was so good. I don't know. Oh, fuck. All right, I got a lot of fun facts. Dude, there's so many fun facts about this movie. Like, freaky facts. Directed by Ari Aster. I think that's how you pronounce it. Starring Florence Pugh? Pugh? I think it's Pugh. Florence Pugh, Jack Reiner, Will Poulter, Isabel Grill, William Jackson. And Borjan and Anderson. I don't think that's how you pronounce it, though. It's Swedish. Yeah, boys. This was a fucking freaky ass movie.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
it
understand
was.
I understand why Ryan was excited for us to watch it.
Oh yeah, it was oh my god, man. That was creepy. That was a creepy movie. Anyone want to start off before we get into it?
Just creatively, I think it's a masterpiece of its own. Like in terms of, especially with the vibrant colors, how it goes from like a condescending dark grayish to this open field that's just has a vibrant of colors. Yeah, I don't know. I guess the feel of the movie expressed of how it looked as well. Other than that, the acting is great. The story it's hard to tell. It's hard to kind of follow it, but I think I kind of held it pretty well together. Other than that, I think it was a pretty good movie and pretty enjoyable movie to watch.
I agree.
Yeah, it was freaky. Freaky shit.
Real freaky.
Very very unsettling. What you get a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, the whole entire vibe. Especially, we'll get into the very creepy scenes. Yeah, the whole entire vibe of the movie is just it's scary. Not because there's no. I appreciate this type of horror movie.
Of
It's
course
not
you
all
do, Josh,
about-
because it's not classic horror.
No, you know why?
Pussies.
You know why, dude? Because it actually has a very interesting story. It has very good cinematography.
So does
it
Conjuring.
It's a ghost that takes over.
I think we don't compare these two.
I wouldn't
two
even count
separate
this as a horror
things.
movie.
Yeah, come on,
I'd say
Josh.
it's a
Stop
horror.
comparing.
See, but I would classify this as a horror movie because it's scary because you don't know what the hell is so unsettling that you don't know what's
I
happening.
feel like this is not a horror movie. This is more like, if it would be
Torture
in this
porn.
area, it would be more like a
Torture
thriller.
porn. That's Saw.
Yeah, I know. Saw's torture porn.
Saw. This ain't torture porn. This is just regular porn. Especially at the end.
We'll get to that later.
We'll get to that later. All right, boys. So Tanner, are you taking this or am I taking it?
I'll take it.
You'll take it.
I'll
For the
take
team.
it. All right. Well, the opening
All right.
shot, we start off with like a wall painting or portrait, like a cultish painting with singing happening, and then it automatically gets interrupted by a phone ringing. And this is where we cut to Danny. We meet Danny. She's leaving a message to her parents regarding about how her.
Wait, Tanner. Are we talking about the Swedish portrait that we just saw?
like it's the very first scene. Like it's the very first thing you see after like the sponsors and the companies. It's like you see this painting.
And we're not going to talk about that?
I mean, I go ahead, Josh.
I really don't remember what it looks like.
All right, look it up real fast. It's literally just the whole entire movie.
That's not this part.
That's not this part? Yes, it is.
No.
100%.
No, that's
never-
later. That's after they get to the town. Is what you're talking about, where it like pans across like the like towels or tapestries or whatever. Yeah, that's after they like trip on mushrooms.
Am I crazy?
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, you're crazy.
I think I know what you're talking about,
sorry,
but yeah,
Taylor.
that's later
My
on.
bad.
It's when they're panning from right to left
Yes.
instead of left to right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you mess that up? That was like halfway in the movie.
Sorry, I was just...
This is the beginning.
He was just excited, Tanner.
I thought I am just excited talking about it.
But anyway,
Alright, sorry.
so yeah. So the phone interrupts. We meet Danny. She's leaving a message for her parents regarding a.
Wait, no. Sorry, interrupting. Nope, this is the first scene of the movie. It's literally just a opening shot of that tapestry.
Okay, so what does this
just pull-
tapestry look like?
I
Can you
just
pull
pulled
it
it
up and send a picture, or
I'll fucking share my
send
goddamn screen.
send it into the chat
Send an image.
so we can all look at it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
basically, it's what's the word? Exposition, or what's it called? Like the term of something happening in the future through storytelling.
Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing. Basically, foreshadowing.
What a description. I love that.
Sorry, I didn't pay attention in English.
All right,
for the computer.
I'll send it in there real fast, just so we can all look at this because.
Yeah, explain it to us, Josh. I want to know. I didn't know this. I had to struggle through this movie while working, so
I had to watch it
because
after
some of us
working.
have to work. Right, Josh?
Not the time, Ryan. Stupid. All right,
All right.
I put it in the chat, boys.
All right.
Oh, okay.
That's the opening.
This is
shot.
like a
So
vague.
explain it.
This is more of like a vague version of the one later
movie.
on, though.
This is literally just the entire. This is the entire movie laid out.
Yeah.
If
pretty
you go
much.
back and look, like the very first shot, you'll see all the tubes kind of like attached to Danny, who's supposed to be in the middle there, underneath the giant skull, and those tubes are attached to Death because of her parents and her sister dying. The second we have like her crying and Christian trying to comfort her, but he's a fucking asshole douchebag, so it doesn't really work. And then you got Pele in the tree just watching them.
Who was
Yeah.
Pele again? Who was that character?
This Swedish
That's
guy.
The
The
Swedish
guy
guy.
that took him.
I thought that was Ingumar or whatever.
No, that's the other. That's the other
That's
dude.
that's
that
his
brought
brother.
that
Oh,
brought
that's
the
his brother.
British. He brought the British people that become like a
Oh,
fucking.
okay.
Anyway,
Problem.
and then the next picture is Pele bringing Mark, who has the jester hat, and at the end of the movie, you'll see why. And then you have Josh right behind him, Christian, then Danny, and then that's him just leading them through the meadow, right where they're tripping. And then you have them entering like their the cultist place, and you have all like the naked women holding the skulls and shit. And then you also have the two old people jumping off the cliff in the top right. And at the very end, you have the giant dance festival, and you have the sun that's supposed to like be the fire, and then you have the feast. It's pretty much the whole entire movie, which is really cool.
Dang, Josh.
Damn.
I didn't even. I just took it as some sort of opening painting. I realized.
No,
I
it's
guess
just-
I didn't.
Yeah, you just look. It's the entire movie.
Yeah, I didn't really pay attention to this, but like the one that pans across was a lot more.
That's the love spell.
It's a lot more in depth.
That's the
Yes,
last spell.
Yeah.
That's the love spell, and I didn't catch that.
Hmm.
And then until you pointed it out, I'm like, oh, okay. Anyway, Tanner, sorry, I just had it.
So yeah,
This is really
so,
cool.
Yeah. So after the painting, the phone erupts. Danny leaves a message to her parents regarding how she received a scary message from her sister Terry while her parents are sleeping. Then we cut back to Danny, seeing as her messages are not getting noticed by her, and she decides to call Christian, which is her, I guess, boyfriend, asking to hang out, go somewhere, and him reassuring her that everything going on with her sister is going to be okay. We cut back to Danny talking to one of her friends. I don't think this character gets a name on the phone. Anyway,
Yeah,
she's just
so-
regarding Christian in her life, how she feels bad that she's getting him involved in her life, and basically girl talk. Cut to Christian, who's with the boys at a restaurant. They're talking about the same thing, but it's boy talk regarding how, you know, who Will Poulter, what's his character?
Mark.
Mark's like saying,
It's
hey,
Mace guy.
you just need to break up with her or something. You know, he's trying to break it off. And anyway, Christian gets a call, and it's Danny again. And when he picks up, she's in tears and grief. We cut to a fireman who's going through the house where Terry, along with her mom and dad, have died due to, carbon monoxide poisoning due to Terry's suicide. So, pretty chilling scene to open up the movie.
So she killed herself.
Well, yeah.
Her sister. Okay. Well, she had like a tube coming out of her mouth. I didn't know what that was.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it kind of creeps you out because in the opening shot when like the phone is ringing at her parents' house, their parents are asleep, right? But you don't realize like, oh, maybe they're just sleeping through it, but you actually realize that, oh, they're not picking up the phone because they're dead.
Shit.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so after that scene, we cut to a few months later in June. Christian comes into like an apartment, and he's waking up Danny, telling her that. Go ahead.
Tanner, fun fact.
Go ahead.
If you guys did not catch this, there is a bear painting with a woman wearing a crown petting it right above her bed, which is foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Right above it. Also, another thing, on her mom and dad's bedstand, the picture of Danny is covered with a crown of flowers. Didn't catch that either.
Didn't catch that.
I didn't do research. I mean, after this movie, like I did with The Matrix and with other movies that we've done.
I did because I'm like, I heard there's so much foreshadowing. I got a really trippy one for you guys.
Coming
Later
up?
down no, it's way down. It's near the end. But I'm
Okay.
pretty sure you guys, no one caught this because I didn't catch this. I was just like, I was watching all the fun facts because this is cool. I love the foreshadowing they did in this. Anyway, yeah.
So, Christian's waking up Danny in her apartment, and he tells her that he's gonna go to a party, and Danny comes along anyway. Let's see. I cut to the party where we meet Pele, who is one of their Swedish pals, and Josh. They're talking to Christian about going to a Swedish festival in Pele's hometown because Josh, for his major in college, needs to do a thesis for his research, and he's doing it on, I guess, pagan tribes or pagan,
Like traditions and shit. Villages,
yeah, European midsummers, yeah.
So I did a bad decision.
We cut back to the apartment. Danny was curious why Christian was keeping the trip away from her. He apologizes, and she doesn't really pray away. She kind of just nags him. They continue to argue, not like huge arguing, just like conversational argument. Yeah, and she's asking him about his thesis because he hasn't really started anything. But he asks if she wants to go, and at first he says, "Oh, it was going to be a surprise," but she ruined the surprise. Any foreshadowing here, Josh?
No, nothing here.
Okay.
There's one thing. It's like the two moons and a painting like to your left. That's supposed to be like their relationship. One's brighter than one's really dark. But that's it.
Cool. Let's see. We cut to Pele's apartment. I think it's his apartment. Could be someone else's apartment. I don't know, but it
Just
just
apartment.
feels like it. Yeah, it's just another apartment with Mark and Josh and Christian.
Can I say I love the shot of like they just use her reflection when
Yeah.
Danny comes in. So cool. I just think that's
Yeah.
like, I don't know. It's just really cool.
No, yeah, that was a cool shot.
They're going over. They're going over the trip, like saying, "Oh, we're gonna go here." Mark's stressing out about going to see some Stockholm strippers and stuff. So
They just fuck, dude. That's hilarious. He's going.
Christian's telling him that Danny's about to come up As Danny arrives, kind of the awkwardness of the situation sets in as Danny goes over to Pele and asks about his classes and vice versa. And Pele talks to her about his hometown in Hasingland. That's the town, right? Hasingland. Hasingland.
I don't think I ever caught it.
Hmm.
So that could be it.
Anyway, Pele tells Danny. Go ahead.
Do you just want the foreshadowing now?
Go ahead. Might as well.
All right. If you look on the fridge, there is a painting of the Scarecrow from Wizard of Oz. And
yeah.
if you watch the end of the movie, obviously, you know that's foreshadowing. And then there's also a couple more scarecrows scattered around the apartment that you can see. So I think this is Pele's apartment.
So what do the scarecrows represent? Like, what does the Wizard of Oz represent?
No, Tanner, do you remember at the very end of the movie, some people get stuffed like a scarecrow?
Because some people only have their face left over.
Only their face on a scarecrow.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. Okay. We can say spoilers because, like, we're talking about the whole movie anyways. It doesn't matter.
I guess, yeah. But at the end, like, fucking...
Yeah.
Mark has been leather-faced.
After that chick goes all Buffalo Bill on it, they put the face on the... Another movie we should watch. Anyway, go ahead.
Pele tells Danny about how he lost his parents, and obviously that kind of conversation cuts to Danny freaking out in an airline bathroom. Really cool cut.
Really
transition.
Cool cut. Also, that was foreshadowing. He said, sorry, there's a lot. You notice how he says, my parents died in a fire?
Yeah.
His parents were sacrificial lambs.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just, that was pretty obvious. Yeah. Like, after looking back at it, it's like, yeah, my parents died in a fire. I'm like, oh, shit, oh, fuck. But he's still cool about it.
So I guess since we're kind of spoiling,
they're all cool about the crazy shit.
Is it Pele's job to go out into civilized, areas and bring back people, or is or was it just a lucky guess? He just found people.
No, I think it's his job, and you can tell he was kind of like, through the whole movie, he's kind of like coasting Danny and becoming the new flower queen or maid queen. So
so
very pre-selected.
Are you telling me that dance competition was rigged?
I think so. I think it was, and I think he picked him like he knew she would win, and then
because her relationship with Christian.
Well, how could it be rigged? Because she drank some stuff. We'll get into it, but she drank some stuff that made her trip, and she could have fallen at any time, which would have instigated.
She started speaking Swedish. Yeah, we'll get to all that shit.
Cool. All right. Well, so they're on their way to Sweden in the plane. We cut to the car. The drive takes roughly 4 hours. Mark is talking about clits and stuff. It's more sex stuff.
There's a lot of funny ass conversation that isn't like it's in the background. You listen. It's usually just Mark talking about sex, and it's really fucking funny.
Danny pretty much stays silent through the whole trip, but she ends up asking Josh why he has this like secret Nazi language pamphlet. Want to care to explain, Josh? Is that foreshadowing, or I didn't understand that?
Nah, there's really nothing.
Okay. Well, yeah, because doesn't Pele say that that's the language they speak?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, maybe.
Or like he says it's a type of he mentions it.
As they arrive, so they arrive in Hasingland. Pele introduces his friends from America to his younger brother from his village, Ignam. Ignam? Ignam.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Igmar. I'm sorry, Igmar. I have it in my notes. I'm not reading it. Okay. And we meet his friends who are brought from London named Connie and David. They offer each other psychedelics as Danny feels she needs to find her footing first. Christian states that if she's feeling uneasy, she doesn't have to take them and he'll wait. But Christian takes the initiative to wait for her. However, Mark is hesitant and kind of peer pressures Danny into doing it. And Danny just ends up joining them immediately. We cut to a tree as Christian states that it's 9 p.m., which it clearly is not, and Mark is freaking out.
This was pretty funny.
That was super.
I don't want to meet new people.
You gotta lay down. Please, you gotta lay down.
Please. It's just funny, dude.
Lay down with me.
Danny begins to freak out as Mark mentions the word family. She decides to go for a walk down the hill, and she gets perceived to be laughed at by another group of people. She runs over to Igmar, and then she goes into her bathroom, which looks like a barn. And she continues to have a bad trip. She has like this thought. She sees like someone behind her in the mirror. So I guess that was kind of one of the jump scares.
So,
One more go there, Josh.
The person she sees in the mirror is her sister with a tube in her mouth.
Okay.
If you go back and look, that is her sister.
Yeah, I didn't know who that was the first time. I wasn't really paying too much because she's not there for very long.
No, yeah, I didn't notice either. I just thought it was like some pagan.
Yeah.
But pagan. Yeah, it's her sister, which is one of the 2 times we see her sister in the movie. Like, her sister's like spirit, sort of. You'll see. I'll tell you the other time. The other time will freak you the fuck out because
But talking about Terry, we cut to like a black screen and we see Terry with her sleeping mom and dad on the couch. So we get like a dream sequence. So.
Oh yeah.
Danny wakes up, states, and they state to her that she's been asleep for 6 hours. The group then head to the village, and we get introduced to Father Odd. How did everyone like the look of the village?
Oh, it looked really good.
The setting.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Would you live there, Ryan?
No. Well, okay. In the sense of the movie, no. But it's really pretty there, so yes, I would actually.
Talk about a place that looks like it's going to be sunny all the time. I guess it is
Right?
June, though. It's summer.
I love like the difference between like I don't know, like the start of the movie it's super dark, rainy, snowy, and then when they get here the rest of the movie is just bright.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Very
Yep.
I like
Yeah.
that. Cool setting.
And like daytime and nighttime are kind of like 2 different things. Like daytime, it's until like towards the end of the movie, obviously, it's like almost normal during the daytime, and then like things happen overnight, and like really only bad things happen overnight until later on into the movie, which is like another progression through the movie of like it going from darker to light, but really it's going from like a lighter to a darker kind of movie.
Yeah. And I was like, dude, this movie won't be a horror movie, bro. They're all just chilling. Everyone seems so nice.
Nah. So
No.
we get introduced to Father Odd, one of the elders. Then we let's see. They head over to like a public speaker, like gathering the locals. He's talking about how it's been 90 years since their last great feast, and how it'll be 90 years again when they have their next. So this parent thing that they're a part of is a 90-year tradition. So it's definitely a once-in-a-lifetime thing. We cut to a disabled, disfigured person painting.
He's inbred.
What?
He's inbred. That's why he's disfigured,
Yeah.
because he's inbred.
Okay. Do we know his name? I feel like
They
they
say
do
it.
mention
They
his name.
say it a few times, but he's the special one.
He's painting. We don't know why. He's just painting. As they begin, once again, we cut back to like the stage, and they begin the opening ceremony, and the 9 events ceremonies begin. Let's see. We cut to them sitting in a interesting formation, kind of like making like a hieroglyphic letter or something. As one of the older men of the village starts to hum and sing, and I guess I don't know how to describe it. And he's basically Pele informs him that he's singing in terms of prayer for the food and crops. We cut to a girl combing her hair in the bathroom. We get this. She's like amping herself up. She's obviously preparing to do something. We don't know what she's planning on doing. Everyone know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. The ginger
Oh,
Okay.
one.
the gym Maya.
The redhead, yeah.
Mhm.
They cut to the group sitting and asking about what the kids are playing. They say, Pele says, "Skin the fool." Josh, want to go?
What?
Skin the fool. Remember when when Mark asked what the kids are playing, and and Pele says, "Oh, they're playing Skin the Fool."
Ugh.
Did you catch this? Because I caught it.
No, I didn't catch that.
Okay, remember when Mark is in the Scarecrow? He's the Scarecrow.
Yeah.
He's wearing a jester's hat. He's the fool.
Oh. Ah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
I didn't catch that. That's a good one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I thought you would have gotten that. Huh.
No, I didn't get that. Nice.
And he was kind of the comedy relief,
True.
which makes it like
Yeah,
when I saw the
true.
jester hat on his head at the end, I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Plus, in the beginning, the tapestries and the jester hat
Yeah.
too. Yeah. I mean, there's so much, dude.
Anyway, so yeah, he says "Skin the Fool," and while they're continuing to talk, the girl in the bathroom kicks Christian, and as she's in the dancing line. Later in the day, once again, they're talking about, I don't know what they're specifically talking about, like random stuff. And Christian asks, they're walking over to this yellow pyramid building. They're talking to Igmar. Igmar states that it's a secret temple and that no one's allowed in there. And then we see that there's a bear in a cage. We just see a bear in a cage sitting there.
Foreshadowing.
And this is when we get the storytelling that pans, the love potion story.
So gross. God, it's so nasty, dude.
I can't believe that you didn't understand the. We'll talk about it when the scene. I guess yeah. We'll just wait.
Oh,
I'll
the
wait.
drink. Yeah,
Yeah, the drink.
I can't believe I didn't. I can't believe I didn't notice that. I feel stupid. Anyway.
Pele shows the group where they sleep. They enter this huge building with with painted scriptures all over the ceiling. He states that this is where everyone sleeps until they turn 36, and to which they move into the laborer's house. Josh asks him what's the significance of 36, and Pele tells him that the village thinks of life as seasons. So spring stands for birth until 18. Summer is 18 from 36. 36 to 54 is fall, and 54 to 72 is winter. Danny asks what happens after 72, and Pele mimes a head chop sign, like putting your thumb across your neck, like you're gonna get killed. I forget what the tasks he said were. Like, I think childhood was birth to 18. Laborer.
Oh,
Labor
maybe.
was like, no, workers are. I don't know. You go from childhood to labor to mentor to something else. I don't know. Anyway, Danny goes to investigate the pictures on the wall in the house where everyone sleeps, and it turns out to be all the pre-May Queens before Pele reminds Christian that it's Danny's birthday.
I know, what a fucking dick. Fuck Christian, dude. Oh, my
Yeah.
say Christian.
We cut to everyone going to bed in the big house, and Josh asks what's happening what's happening tomorrow. He asks Pele what's going to happen tomorrow, and he says it's the first of the big ceremonies, but does not tell him about it.
Well, he says the
Also,
name.
he says the name. They try to Google it, but they don't have service.
But Josh, I think Josh knows, and Josh, that sadistic fuck, who's like, just starts laughing.
Huh.
Right?
I get. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Because I think Christian was the one that was confused, correct? Or Danny was?
Yeah, Christian was trying to Google it.
Everyone goes to sleep, but the baby this baby that just does not stop crying continues to cry. Cut to the next day. As morning prayers are being said by the village people, we cut to a dining table outside with everyone waiting to sit. The women are picking flowers backwards. Don't know why. I guess it's just a thing they do. We see an older couple in blue robes approaching from the yellow pyramid.
Oh, wait, sorry.
Go ahead.
The picking flowers was in the tapestry of the love spell
Hmm.
because it was Maya
Okay.
picking them, right? And if you look, it's like
And
the
Danny.
picking
Danny
flowers.
was picking them too for some reason.
Yeah. It's just weird, right?
We see the couple in blue robes approaching from the yellow pyramid. They sit down before everyone else sits down, like a domino effect, or kind of a cool scene. The older couple, after everyone's done eating, they stand up and begin harmonizing. And I guess everyone raises their cups and drinks, and the older couple is carried out like they're royalty. We cut to a mountainside where all the village people are looking on as the two older couple in blue approach the cliffside, and they jump and kill themselves.
Oh wow, you just like you got right to it,
Yeah.
dude. Holy shit, the music! Oh my god, it is like
Intense. And
it's
loud.
so intense,
It's like
Yeah.
super loud.
very loud, bro. This whole entire it's so it's so unsettling, man.
Mm-hmm.
Eerie.
God, they did such a good fucking job with this entire scene, and I love the
So-
It's such a bright scene too for like probably the first second really dark moment, but first time you get to see all right, these guys are kind of fucking weird.
Is this the
Moment.
suicide shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're jumping off a cliff.
Yeah. Oh my god. Did you see?
Oh, it's so gross.
Just it was so gross, dude. She splats and her face is half off, and
Yeah, the
man.
dude
my
and
God.
the dude ends up he falls, but he doesn't die.
He doesn't
The-
die.
the
His
vil-
legs all like
The village
they get
people,
shattered up,
the village
the
people can
hammer.
use a mallet to finish him
Look at
off.
and just split his head like a watermelon.
Connie and
that-
David are obviously shocked by the set, and not the fact that everyone's just standing there and not doing anything. But one of the village lady, I forget her name, but I don't think we know it at the time,
Yeah.
reassures them that this is a joy for them and that it's a long custom and that they view life as a circle, and that when someone dies, a baby not yet born will inherit the same name of people who just jumped off the cliff.
By the
So-
way, dude, that guy's legs look like they hurt a lot after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, I saw someone point this out, and it was really funny. If you watch everyone's reaction when the first lady, after it happens, Christian just looks like he has a stomach ache, but everyone else looks shocked and freaked out. It's really funny. Anyway,
They're going back to the village. They're walking back to the village. Danny has another meltdown. Christian goes in to see Josh in the sleeping house and decides to tell him that he's going to do his thesis on this town. Josh becomes upset and feels that Christian is stealing his subject, and feels that over time, him as a grad student, he's been leeching over him. Jealousy is setting in. I guess Josh is the hated character in this movie, the supposed antagonist, even though
no, Christian. Fuck Christian.
Christian. Okay.
Christian's a dick.
We get a cut to Danny, who seems to be packing up her things, and she's leaving, and Pele comes in, sees her, asks her what she's doing. She says she's leaving, and Pele is like, no, and he calms her down, stating that he lost his parents to a fire, and that he was orphaned, but he always had a family to look onto. He was always held. He also feels that she deserves a family like this, and that it perpetually states that Pele says, like, hey, I don't think a Christian may be good for you, Annie. So, I guess more symbolism there. We get a cut to bodies that jumped off the cliff. They're being cremated. As Danny sits in a field and Christian walks up. Once again, one of the women in the village asks them if they want to partake in the ceremony. They don't. This is when we cut tonight. Then we cut tonight. This ceremony involves, guessing they're decorating a tree and they're throwing it into a lake in order to please the goddess of some sort. They said the god needs more, I guess, food or more, but for the offerings. And this little girl steps up and she says she'll sacrifice herself. As she is almost about to be thrown into the lake with a boulder trapped to her, Danny intervenes, and village people yell "stop" and state that the little girl has shown bravery and the ceremony is over. I didn't understand what it was. Josh, want to help me out here? Josh.
Josh.
What the fuck, Josh?
Josh. Oh my gosh. Do you think the people of Hagar kidnapped him?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
shown
he's
great
in it.
bravery.
Josh, are you here? We can't hear you.
Hello?
There you are.
Oh my god. Okay. Did you watch a different version of me? I don't have that scene.
You don't have that scene?
No.
I
Does
didn't have
everyone
that
else have
scene
that scene?
either.
I just rented
Yeah.
it on YouTube. What else
Yeah, I
did
had
you
it on
guys do?
YouTube too.
It
Really?
was free on it. It was on Amazon Prime.
God damn it.
Dude, that's
You
why
guys didn't have
that's
that
why you
scene?
looked it up, man. No.
I don't. Because I watched
okay,
it on
this-
YouTube. But
My scene after that was after Pele talks to Danny.
Yeah, what happens after that?
Well, they're burning like the bodies,
Okay.
and then
And
Danny's
then-
just like in the middle of the field, and they talk to Christian, and then it cuts to Danny asking Josh for a pill to sleep.
Really?
yeah, that's
And
all
then
I
we
had.
get-
Okay, so
Yeah.
you guys actually missed probably about 10 minutes of stuff here that I got.
So yeah, you had like director's cut, I think.
That's why I got confused. So when I looked up the movie, it said it was like 2 hours and 40 minutes or something like that. And then when I actually rented it, it was only like 2 hours and
Half.
25 or something
20.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah, you watched the director's cut then, because
Okay.
then we get the dream sequence of like
Okay,
Mark.
well, there's a lot more
come
after
driving away.
this after the ceremony is over, so I'll just go over it. So yeah, after the ceremony involving the girl being thrown into the lake with a boulder on her chest, the ceremony's over. After the ceremony, Danny tells Christian that something is very wrong here, and she feels something bad is going to happen. Christian, now feeling that he has the privilege to do this thesis, he wants to have some sort of open mind to see things that have never been seen before. But Danny is like, Christian, these people rely on people not knowing about it since it's a pagan cult. And they end up arguing, and I guess their relationship is kind of on the bends, and Christian leaves Danny alone, and they both go to bed, not before Danny asks Josh for another sleeping pill. There's the it's like 10 minutes of stuff you missed.
Weird. Wait, are you talking about when they're in the like? Never mind. Oh, you're talking about when he's asking like, do I have permission like use their names and shit, or when he's
No.
trying to write the thesis?
No, not yet.
Okay, cool. Never mind.
This
Forget
is
that.
something you guys don't have.
I had no. I had the scene you're talking about now, where they're in the like where they're
like,
sleeping.
they're in
area.
No. This is like they're in like the dark. They're like in the field. It's dark time. They're talking.
Oh yeah, okay. No, I didn't have that then.
You
But
guys don't have it.
I did have like there were multiple times when she asked him for sleeping pills.
This was the first time. This is the first time she asked for a sleeping pill.
Yeah.
So then we get to the nightmare scene. Danny sees people getting up. She goes out and sees people leaving her, and yeah, guess they're just stranding her in the village. Let's see. We then, after the same night, we cut to the Maya, the redhead. She stows something, a gift, under Christian's bed, with Josh looking on, who's not asleep. We come to the next morning as the ashes of the dead elders is bestowed upon a dead tree. Josh comes over to Pele, who is working in the garden, and asks what is to become of the ritual book. Pele states that it's okay for him to look at it as long as he signs an agreement. So, in addition, Josh asks Pele, "What do you think?" He asks what he witnessed of Maya placing the object under Christian's bed, and Pele states that it's a love spell called a rune. We then get a cut to Mark pissing on the sacred tree, and the villagers get upset.
You know, it's
That's
you know
so
you find
fucking
I
funny.
found it weirdly disturbing and unsettling, just because like he's pissing on it, right? And it's kind of funny. He's like, "Oh, I didn't know," but the guy like is like crying and shit. You know, after he's yelling at him, I was like, "God damn, it's just a tree, homie." No, I'm just kidding. But I
This
just
shit was so funny.
just
Put your disgusting dick away.
a lot of the way that the other cult members or the other villagers are act is just the whole thing is unsettling the whole time.
Oh, very unsettling. Yeah.
So I
It's
think one of the elders states, or I forget, but one of them says it's okay. He didn't know, but obviously he's dead. We don't know it yet, but he's fucking dead. He's dead anyway.
Oh, he's fucking dead, dude.
Well, I mean, he's been dead for a while, bro.
How does he?
Yeah.
How did they get him again? I don't remember seeing that.
He goes to fuck that girl.
He got an off-screen kill. You don't see him die.
Oh, okay, that's why. Okay, that's what I was asking.
So yeah, we get a cut to Connie, one of the British gal. She's grabbing
Jack?
things.
Huh?
Talking about
She's
the Brits.
So Connie's grabbing her things, saying that she's leaving, and one of the elders comes up to her and states that Simon has already gone to the train station. Connie is bewildered and states that he would have told her. So I guess the elder lied, because we all know what happened.
I knew he was lying. Obviously.
I had
mean,
I had a pretty good feeling that it wasn't what was
Took
happening.
him out to the shed.
But his tone and the way he presented it kind of made you think, he might be telling the truth.
Yeah, right. They're fucking manipulative. Dudes.
Yeah, talk about acting. Acting within acting. Yeah. Danny goes to tell Christian, who's asking one of the villagers how roles are assigned, and then he also asks how if incest is involved in reproducing. So obviously, Christian is asking more questions, getting more into the info. We get a cut to Josh inside one of the buildings, the temples. The elder is talking about the ritual book. Very important scene here. The elder states that the book is always in progress by paintings by an oracle, aka someone with an uncognitive mind, of cognitive ability, as a result of inbreeding. He is asked if he is allowed to take pictures, but the elder becomes offended and states that that is absolutely not allowed. And the scene ends, and we hear someone screaming. So
Oh wait.
cool. I believe this is Connie screaming, correct? We don't know.
Hold up.
Like,
When was this? Is this when they're in the church?
the church,
the
yes.
thing
And Josh
with
asks
the elder?
and he asks if he could take a picture, and the elder gets offended.
I like that elder. I don't know why. He just kind of looks cool.
But the scene ends with screaming, and I don't know who the screaming was. We don't find out, but I think it's Connie.
I think I did catch that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's crazy, huh? Yeah, I bet you it was Connie.
I think it was Connie because it was definitely a female. Definitely was a dude.
Yeah.
So I think it was
Huh.
Connie. We get a cut back to Danny and Mark at the time of the scream that occurs, and then they get coached up into eating supper, as Danny asks the group why Simon would leave without Connie, and states that Christian might do the same thing, which offends him. Remember, Danny's like, Something you would do, prick.
Yeah. I mean, Christian is a fucking asshole.
hmm Josh then asks if he's learned anything about the book is called the Ruby Root Rotter. That's the name of
That's
the
a
or
thing,
the,
Jesus.
the ritual book. Yeah.
What did Scooby Doo make it?
Bro, we got to get the Ruby router. I can't do it. I give up.
So yeah, Josh asks about if he's learned anything about the book. Christian then sasses him, saying that you want to collaborate now, do you?
Fucking big sass, man.
This is the scene with the drink.
Yeah. As Christian takes a bite of the meat tart.
By the way, hold up. Okay, are they eating human meat?
I
don't
thinking
know.
the same thing.
I've been thinking the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
And when he took a bite, I didn't think it was gonna be a pube. I thought it was gonna be like a toe or a bone.
I thought it was gonna be like a bone or yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
No, but it
think
was
so.
a pube.
I don't know.
It was a pube.
No, I don't think it was human meat, but it was a pube. Well, then it was like hair. I'm like a pube. I'm like, oh, then it is human meat. But then I realized, oh, I'm dumb and didn't pay attention.
Oh yeah, we do get a scene back. We forgot that, but Danny was preparing she's invited over to prepare the meat parts, and that's when we get a cut to Maya. Strolls over to one of the meat pies, and we don't see her do it, but we see that she's doing some sketchy shit.
Oh yeah, she is.
So yeah, like you guys said, Mark states that, hey Christian, that's a pubic hair. I guess he just knows. I mean, it could have just been a
It
regular
is
I
hair.
know,
Christian.
right? That motherfucker can. I don't understand that.
Kind of a nitpick there, but nothing too big. We later see one of the village women. She's one of the, I guess, elders. I still don't know her name. She takes Mark go see something. We don't know what she's seeing, obviously. Then we cut to nighttime, and Josh again asks Danny for another sleeping pill. So, seamless transition.
Danny
You don't
asks
even know what
Josh.
happens.
Tanner.
What?
Danny asked Josh.
Danny asks Josh. That's what I said, right?
He said Josh asked Danny, dude. That's a big detail.
Oh, okay. Tonight, as Josh once again, I said, okay. Here's my. I just said it wrong. Once again, as Josh wants hands again, Danny another sleeping pill. So I just said it wrong.
You rhymed like Shakespeare. As Josh hands again, Danny.
Okay. Well, I speak into my phone. I don't type into my phone, so. It's
I know. You're good.
Okay. We cut later, right before sunrise. Josh sneaks into the Oracle temple, goes and snaps some pictures of the ritual book. And he is caught and killed by an unknown individual not wearing pants, wearing the Leatherface version of Mark, who we learn now is killed. So this is the first death we've kind of seen on.
So creepy, dude.
I don't know who kills Mark. Do we think it's one of the elders or? Definitely a
with
dude.
with the mask on.
Yeah.
No, the dude with the mask on is the inbred.
The special needs
No.
That
Yeah,
who
Are you
hits
sure?
him
Yeah, it
upside
is,
the head
100%,
when he
because you can
sneaks
see-
in?
No, he was sleeping. He was sleeping in the corner.
No, look at his eyes. One of his eyes is
Yeah, one
fucked
of
up.
his eyes isn't straight.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It's not normal.
He has the,
Yeah,
like, the
it's-
mask is on sideways too, kind of.
Because I swear, when Josh is sneaking in, we get a cut to the deformed kid. He's sleeping in the corner.
Hold on, let me see.
I'm pretty sure.
Well, I think you should. Hold up. Let's see.
It doesn't really matter, but I don't
It
think it
don't
was.
really matter. It's creepy as
It
shit.
might have been just a hint to say that, like,
Oh yeah, she
that-
was sleeping in the corner.
that kid is in the room with him still, and so it's not like just all of a sudden he just gets hit by the kid that's like there. But
I
I'm
guess-
pretty
I guess
sure
the
it
kid-
is.
No. He's not wearing the mask. Tanner's right because the person wearing the mask walks in and the kid's sleeping on the bed and you see her. So, but the kid
No.
kills him.
Okay.
The inbred kills him. Dude, that was so creepy seeing Mark's face like that. I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Mark's dead.
he did.
Okay. So as the morning comes up, sun rises, the elders inform the village people that the Ruby Rotter, the ritual book, is missing, and they say, hey, we obviously know it's not missing. they obviously are, what's the word?
Try to cover up
Lying.
Josh's death.
Yeah. Saying that, hey, if you stole it, we're not mad, just return. There will be no one at the door, just return it. Then we get a cut to the elders purposely asking the newcomer, all that's left is Christian and Danny, if they have any knowledge of their missing property, which we know is not missing. And they say that they are in the dark as much as you are. And they have no idea where
Yep.
Josh or Mark is, so they don't know. Danny goes into the kitchen while Christian is invited to go into the quote-unquote Civ's house. That's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
We get a cut to a young woman getting preparation of a dance contest to be crowned the May Queen. As they stand in line and drink an unknown drink, which turns out to be psychedelic,
Like all their fucking drinks.
which only gets realized by Danny right before the competition begins. Her ankles are like grass, kind of trippy. Inside the Civ's house, Mark goes in, like in a waiting room, and this room is kind of cool. It has like scriptures and writing all over it. He goes in and meets with one of the ladies, and he states that, hey, I have no knowledge where your ritual book. The woman just pretty much says, you have been. What do you think of Maya? Christian's like, who? Maya. And he goes, I don't know. The lady's like, well, you've been granted to mate with her. And he states that he's here with Danny. Well, kind of awkward, but the elder woman insists that this may offer a unique glimpse into their mating right as a part of his thesis. Ha ha ha. Oh, it's coming up.
I can't wait. Alright.
Back, the competition begins. Drumming is happening, playing, and they get down to 8 women, as Danny being a part of them. One of the women comes up to them and asks if Christian comes out. He watches the competition. One of the women comes up to him and offers him a drink. He at first denies it, saying that he might have a bad trip, but just takes it anyway.
Yeah, like, motherfucker, what?
Cutting back to the dance, all of a sudden, for some reason, Danny can speak proficient Swedish.
Yeah, bro, she's high as fuck.
And
You do
she
anything.
becomes the last woman standing and is crowned the May Queen. Mm-hmm. She's carried to, I guess, another dinner table, just like the elder couple in blue robes. As she sits down, the other villagers sit down in a domino effect. Obviously, she's kind of like. Anyway.
What's up?
Nothing.
Okay.
We see Danny leave after the meal. We see Danny leave in a carriage, while Christian is guided by a rose petal trail into the sex house.
All right. I have something that I 100% know. Wait. Oh, this is her in the carriage. Oh, I think we missed it.
No,
Yeah, we
not
missed
yet.
it.
Well,
No. The part I want to point out. You know when she's lifted onto that, like, the thing that she's standing on, she's carried?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oh, that
I'm
little
pretty sure.
Are
pedestal?
you talking about in the background, Josh?
Yes.
The face?
In the tree?
Yes.
Do you know what face that was?
Is that her sister?
That's her sister.
How are you supposed to know that, though? How are you supposed to...
If you just pay, it's superimposed, and that's what they said. Tanner, did you catch that?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I will link it in our chat real fast so you can look.
Can you do it in Discord or Snapchat?
Just Discord.
Okay, I was wondering why I
What's
didn't see
better for
anything on Snapchat. Oh, just do it in the Discord. I'll see it in the Discord.
Okay. Here, I'll put it in here. No, this is creepy as hell, dude.
By the way, during this dinner scene, you could definitely trip. Things
Definitely
are
what?
moving. Like,
Oh yeah,
things
the
are
faces
moving.
and shit.
Oh my god. Can you imagine Al watching this movie?
I was telling him, like, dude, just tell
He's probably
fucking
seen this movie. There's no way he has not seen it.
I
Who?
don't know.
Who?
Al?
Anyway.
Remember Al?
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, so Tanner, I just sent the picture. If you can view
Cool.
it. Wait, Ryan, did you catch that?
Wow.
Oh,
No,
I
I
can
saw
see
a
that.
picture
Yeah,
of it after.
you can see the tube coming out of her mouth
You
too.
can see the tube, yeah, and the eye.
Yeah.
That's fucking creepy,
Wow.
isn't it?
That is creepy,
It's
dude.
creepy as fuck that they put that in there, and I was like, oh, that I didn't catch it. I saw that. I saw it when I was looking shit up.
Yes.
That's cool though, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's just
that
like
is really
it's just
cool.
it's just it's so subtle and just so creepy and cool. Yeah, I don't know. This
What a
movie's cool.
nice just what a cool thing to think of when you're making a movie. Like
right?
there was
Like-
one thing that someone told me, which I think is so cool to think about, is that a director, anything that is in their scene is always there for a reason. And good directors are very specific about what is in their scenes to support the movie or foreshadow or whatever. And I think this movie has a lot of that.
No, this dude did a great job at just like putting time and this little detail of a fucking who's the face in a tree of her sister, because it's been very momentous right here. She's finally finding a family, and after her family all tragically died, and showing her like sister's face at the moment like she's getting rebirthed as the queen, which is kind of on the tapestry. The sun. It starts off with the skeleton moon and ends with a happy sun, and happy sun is supposed to be like rebirth. So there's a lot of fucking visual storytelling. The visual storytelling in this movie is phenomenal. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Top tier.
It's like up
What
there
has
with Get
Ari
Out.
Aster directed it? Is this like his own movie?
No, he made one before this. That's supposed to be really freaky as well. It's called Hereditary.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I've heard of that. I heard that was really freaky too.
Yes, he directed Hereditary, and it's supposed to be another really, really, really freaky movie.
Cool.
We should pick that
Yeah.
one next too.
I mean, interested to see it.
So
Fucking weird.
Danny is carried off into the carriage. She's gonna go perform like a prayer. She's not gonna go bury meat and food.
She's
Crazy.
gonna go
I didn't
like
get that.
bless the crops, right?
Yep.
Oh
yep.
yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, bless the
And
cows.
we see Christian seeing Maya usher him over. With
Oh,
the
yeah.
finger. We see Danny leave while
That
Christian
was my
follows
favorite scene in the whole movie.
the rose petal trail to the sex house. As Danny is blessing the crop, she is requested to go to Sue's house. Okay. Yeah, then this is when we get the scene.
Oh yeah.
By the way, before we get into this, I saw a funny ass comment on a YouTube video. They said Christian looks like a mix between Seth Rogen and Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Like that's so funny.
So
Anyway, Tanner, describe the scene in detail.
Okay, before we goes in, there's two guys, like two elders. One's wearing like a stringed hood,
Spaghetti mask.
yeah, spaghetti mask, and he like opens this thing, and smoke's coming out, and he asks him to breathe it in. Don't know what it is. Obviously, it's something freaky. And let's see. He walks in. We see Maya laying down in a road, like a petal garden platform, and she's surrounded by like 12 or so fully nude old women.
Not all of them are old. There's like
They're
Definitely
definitely
wasn't paying
not.
There
attention.
were some hot ones.
there's like one or two. Come on. But most of them are very old. Yes,
Yeah.
Which
Very
were
weird.
weird. Which was
except Maya. Maya's young.
Maya was young.
Yeah.
Oh, and we see fucking full cock.
Oh yeah, you see
100%.
Oh.
the penis quite a few times in this movie.
All the cock, bro. All the
Yeah,
cock.
just in
you
the
know, like,
scene, you just see all the cock. The whole
all the
thing.
cock. Well, after the scene, especially,
I
you see
think-
a lot.
I
mass
see
running
more
cock.
when he's
cock
running
in
away.
that one scene than you do in all of Game of Thrones.
Nah.
Yeah, no, Game of Thrones has never shown a full-on cock and balls like that,
What?
especially for as
What?
long as they did.
Look
no,
at
no, as
Theon.
long as they did.
Oh,
like,
okay.
he, like,
I can
longevity.
point out a couple scenes, bro.
I bet you can, Josh.
Okay.
I know the cock
Let me
scenes in Game of
continue
Thrones.
analyzing the scene. So
Get to the old woman.
Christian is Christian's he's kind of hesitant, kind of shy about it, but he delves in,
He goes
and
balls deep.
one of the older women. Keep in mind, some of the background images I had to kind of look away because I was like, why couldn't you put a different one? No offense, but anyway, one of the older women.
And by the way, Tanner, you know, remember when she's reaching out when Christian's fucking her?
Yeah.
She's reaching out her hand. Apparently, that's her lover.
What's
The
her love?
other chick, the chick that like she's reaching out to,
Which was also in
What?
the pan tapestry thing. Is like it's
Yeah.
two women together.
Yeah, so that's her
which,
actual lover.
Which lady? Which lady?
The lady that she literally reaches her hand to and then comes down and she has like her hand on her face and then she's like talking to him and Christian just looks freaked out and his face the whole entire time is so funny.
Yeah.
You watch it. It's
One of the older women, obviously, is kind of tired of this. She wants it to be over. She puts her hands on his ass and
And she's
thrusts
helping
him.
him thrust and
How's
thrust
that sound?
and
and
thrust.
his fucking face when this happens. It's like-
So
oh, and then the
For
chick, the inbred chick is just watching.
so after for our younger audiences,
Oh.
after this is over, quote unquote, Maya arcs herself and she says, "I feel the baby."
He came in her.
Yeah, that's all he did.
Josh.
That's all
He
he
came
did.
in.
I
He came
feel
in the
baby.
puss.
And then he gets up and runs, which I didn't.
Wait, no.
Yeah.
By the way, we missed the part where Danny goes in and looks through the keyhole and sees them fucking.
I'm not getting
Oh,
to
that's right.
that.
No, because he comes after this.
Okay, yeah,
'Cause they
Danny, after she comes back, she hears
It
like
comes.
moaning in the house, and she goes to investigate, looks at the keyhole, sees Mark, and throws up. Goes over to the sleeping house, and she like pants, and she is like the women are all panting simultaneously with her.
They're crying with her, yeah. Which I started laughing. I won't lie. I just started laughing at this scene because I'm like, dude, this is funny as shit. I did not understand it at all, but I was
yeah, they're like-
cracking up.
They're like in unison. It's so weird.
By the way, did you see that the fucking tapestry they showed after this, or just like
No.
the chick looking down at the fire, and there's two guys with erections, and they're holding it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
weird.
I didn't see that.
No, I didn't
Oh
see
my
it.
god, it's weird. Anyway, dude, when the old lady grabs his ass, oh my god, his face is so fucking funny.
Okay.
And
So
I just
Christian
died
rushed-
when that happened.
So Christian runs out, fully naked, stumbles, and he sees a foot or a leg that's buried in the ground. Do we know whose foot this is? I think it's Connie's, or it's.
It was a black guy. That was a Blackfoot right there, bro.
Oh,
Well,
who-
yeah,
what
Connie
was it?
or Josh. Or
Oh,
it could have been.
No, it's not. It's not the other dude.
It could have been
It's
Josh.
not. It's not the other bridge. I think it's Josh.
By the way, can we just talk about how funny it is watching him run around just like fucking cock out?
It's flinging around and
Just flopping
fucking
around.
hilarious.
And then he sees people and he covers it. Starts running. Oh my god. But the whole scene, like, it was the scariest, funniest sex scene I've ever seen.
So yeah.
I don't know.
So it was either Simon's foot or Josh's foot because they do have kind of a darker pigmentation. We
I
don't
think
know.
it was Josh's though.
I think it probably was Josh's. Anyway,
Yeah.
he heads into a wooden hut and he sees Simon's dead corpse hanging
Nope.
in it.
He's alive.
He
No,
is
I-
alive.
No,
yes,
he
he
is. Yeah, he is alive.
He's alive? What?
Yeah,
Yeah, you
all of
see
his
his
body
lungs
parts
moving?
are like out of him.
Oh,
but
I
he's
thought
still
that was
alive.
just the trip stuff. Like he was just
No.
imagining it.
No, he's alive, bro.
Okay, well anyway, he's alive. But his back is like split open, like something from, I don't know,
I think they call that like the
Oh, so
butterfly.
gross.
butterfly, yeah. And his eyes are like covered by these sunflowers, like petals. And then
Dude, this scene was so
we,
fucking
I guess we
gross,
get,
man.
I guess we get the first kind of quote unquote jump scare where he's drugged by poisonous powder by one of the elders.
We also see his cock in this too.
Okay, yeah, Josh.
You like this
Once
cock,
again,
don't
once
you?
again, Josh is talking about.
Oh yeah,
dick,
did you
but
Yeah,
see
you
the
talk
cock
about
hanging
dick
down
way
on
too
the
much.
couch?
She's just funny as fuck.
When
Oh
he
my
was
god,
like-
by the way. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Josh. No,
No,
go
you
ahead,
go
go ahead.
Sorry, this was just like the coolest like angle when the dude's like closing both of his eyes and it goes one by one. And like the camera's like
Oh,
half
yeah,
of it
yeah.
shuts off. That's sick. It looks really cool.
So Christian's blacked out, and then we get a cut to him awakening, paralyzed, saying that he can't speak and he can't move, and one of the administrator, or however you would call it, another ceremony, a speaker is speaking, stating that today is the 9th day of celebration and that 9 lives will be taken in sacrifice, stating that 4 new bloods, as well as 2 already dead, as well as 2 being volunteered, which turned out to be Pele's brother Igmar, and another person we don't know. Elder Uff. So yeah,
It's Elder
However,
Ulf, the that
one
got pissed.
person remains, and you know who gets to decide who the last person is? The May Queen, aka Danny.
Her dress looks really cool.
Mhm.
I don't know why.
She gets to decide whether it'll be a new blood, aka Christian, or a selected Holgra village person
Huh?
that's selected through like a lottery bingo like process.
It's so funny.
As the sacrifices are being loaded into the yellow pyramid, we see Mark. He's a jester and he's a hay guy. But then we also get a cut to Christian, who's being prepared to be dressed inside an actual bear.
So fucking weird, dude.
And I guess we
Oh,
are,
it was so weird. It was
We
so
are-
weird.
we are to believe that he was chosen by the May Queen to be the 9th and final sacrifice. They're all loaded. 4 dead, the 4 new people, the 2 that are already dead, Christian the bear, and then the 2 village people who are going to be alive during that. They're given some type of I don't know, medicine, like what's it called, morphine or something. I don't know. Yeah, it says
Yeah, I
that
know what you're talking
it won't hurt. And they begin lighting the inside, which is filled with hay, on fire, and we see the 2 alive dudes screaming in pain, and the bear's on fire, and we cut to the village people. They're all screaming in agony as if something is being taken from them, like their soul or something. And we get a cut to the last shot with the music, by the way. The music is also a factor that makes this more unsatisfying. Satisfying, but unsatisfying. I don't know.
Such creepy music.
And we cut to Danny, and she has this sadistic smile as if she's found a new family, and she is riddance of Christian, who has been a thorn at her side. And we cut to credits. Whew.
Yeah, hey Danny. Dude, that was all. I mean, oh my god, this fucking movie, man.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Can I start this time, boys? I have a start.
Go ahead, Josh.
All right, boys. I just gotta say this definitely probably easily is the freakiest movie we've watched. Maybe like I would say like probably most original. Like it's just so from start to fin. Like the start of the movie, it's so dark, and I'm like, all right, this is gonna be like a typical horror movie. And then sister dying, parents dying, and then it just cuts. The rest of the movie is all in like daytime, except for a couple scenes. And everything's so bright. There's so many flowers. It's like the complete opposite of what a cliche horror movie is, and which is really cool. Or just cliche like scary movie. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Everything's so bright, and I don't know, man. The director, he did such a fucking amazing job. Like this is probably the foreshadowing. This reminded me a lot of like Jordan Peele. You know?
Yeah, like with us.
I still want to see his work. I haven't seen his work.
Oh, you should, dude. They're good. But a lot of Jordan Peele, where it's a bunch of foreshadowing in there. There's a bunch of just like little hints in the background of what's actually happening. Um, I don't know. Ari Aster did such an amazing job with this film. Um, the ending was definitely a. The ending was a little confusing, but I was like, I understood it. And our friend, our other friend Ryan, who's been on the podcast, he was saying like it's pretty much a giant metaphor of what a relationship, where, and like at the very end, it's her just getting rid of him, and that's the reason she picked him, because she had a chance to spare his life, but she didn't, and then she gets like a smile at
To
the end
be
of her
fair,
face.
she caught him fucking a girl with 15 other naked. So I don't know how
I mean,
a
he
bunch of
was
cucks.
also drugged, but
But she
that's
didn't
fine.
know that.
Yeah.
Man, this movie had a budget of $9 million. You don't. I don't have to say what I'm gonna say. You already know.
Yeah.
10
Something
times
about
less than
Twister.
10 times less than Twister.
Right.
And actually, this movie actually only made half as much as Twister cost. Sadly, this movie should have made more. It only made $46 million in box office for a $9 million movie. That's really good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, guys, I don't know. This movie did. I don't know. It's just a trip, man. It was really cool, especially watching after, like looking at all the little signs that they showed throughout the movie, what's actually going to happen. I think it was probably the coolest, most foreshadowed, best storytelling through visuals. The camera work was amazing. The fucking music was so unsettling, dude. Every single scene became creepier because of the music. The cliff, the ending, everything, dude. The funniest sex scene I've ever seen. Ah, shit, that had me dying. Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it I'm gonna give it an 8.7.
8.7. Okay.
It's fair.
I thought it was a little. I thought it took a little too long to build up some stuff, but I understood
Yeah.
after, you know. But yeah, I think at 8.7.
I'll go last since it's my movie. So,
Okay.
Jack.
Yeah, I'll go next. I, as we were saying earlier, like all the ways that they showed kind of what was gonna happen in the movie without actually like really giving it away. It was really interesting and creative, and it was like a new way of doing it. Like Josh was saying, it's pretty original. And then back to what I was saying earlier, like as the movie went on, the lighting went from dark to light, but in reality, like the whole like actual feel of the movie went from light to dark, which was kind of a cool. I like the way that they did that, and with the just how the movie changed over time and how it got like it slowly built up, and then all of a sudden it was like everything was happening at once, which like I thought it needed that slow build up with how it ended too, and how quickly everything ended up. And then a lot of the scenes were very, very well made. Like the backgrounds, like the way they made backgrounds mean something. Like with the part where they're walking with her on the pedestal, and her sister is like in the trees in the background, and like the way they use the drugs and stuff like that to add something to the movie instead of just having it be something that like makes them go crazy or something like that. But yeah, it's like it's a lot of things in this movie are original, and like I really like that. I wasn't too sure about some of the scenes where it has that really, really loud music. I felt like I had to like turn the volume down. It might have been just the way I was listening to it with like the headphones I was using or something like that, but like I didn't like that I had to like turn down the volume almost to not kind of, I don't know, destroy my ears because of one or two scenes. But I kind of would glance over that for my rating, which I think my final rating would be a 8.8 because I really liked the way a lot of scenes were filmed and stuff like that.
Wine.
Awesome. Yeah. So I did have a quick question, if someone knows the answer to this. So, okay, back on the cliff scene when they jump off, you know, and kill themselves, and the old man doesn't die. Are they all like making a crying noise or something? Do you know what I'm talking about? All
Yeah.
together, they're all
Oh,
making like
yeah.
like some kind of crazy
It's
crying
kind of
noise.
like the end when they're
Kind of like
all
the
like
end,
kind of
yeah.
Like the end, yeah. Do you know what that noise is? Why
It's
they're
like their
doing that?
pain. I don't know. It's weird. I feel like they kind
I
of
thought that was weird. That confused me a lot.
It's like the village
Um,
is like connected to like who their kind of leader is in a way.
oh,
or
okay.
like the other people. I don't know. It's weird, man.
Because they
Yeah.
were the oldest people in their village, because they're 72, and once you get 72, you're supposed to jump off a cliff.
Right. I guess so. This movie was very unsettling. Like what's weird is I got an unsettling feeling during Apocalypto 2, but this one was different. It's like still unsettling and eerie, but in a different way. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Like a
yeah.
lot of these movies we've watched have been just a little dark. um, but it was really good. I like the acting. I was confused sometimes during the script. Not gonna lie, but that's okay. I was still able to follow along and everything. Um, but yeah, this movie. Is it a horror movie? Is that what they classify it as?
yeah. It's a
Yeah.
horror
Okay, so
drama thriller.
yeah. Okay, so as far as like horror and thriller, this movie was really really good. So I liked Josh's score. I'm gonna give it an 8.7 as well.
Yeah, it's a horror drama.
Horror drama. Okay.
Yeah, the one thing that I enjoyed so much that wasn't really movie, well, it is really, but the whole time I was watching this, I never, for even like 1 second, felt the length of the movie. Even for me, with the extended director's cut, it's about almost a 3-hour movie for you guys, 2.5. But I never felt the longevity of it. Yeah, like Brian said, it's unsettling and sinister at points, and at moments you feel uneven. But it's so watchable. It makes you just want to watch and learn more of it. I'm not going to discredit the confusion parts, because I feel like there's so much foreshadowing in this. This movie deserves. I think you're not supposed to just watch this movie one time and move on. I think it takes a second viewing or third viewing to maybe get the full dynamics of what the movie is trying to present. But yeah, it's creepy. The acting, nothing wrong with the music, nothing wrong with the music, the visuals. The transitions are cool, like you said, the going from the apartment to the airline bathroom to the closing of the eyelid scene when Kristen gets powdered. Just very creative scenes. Just there's so many things that are the little things create such a huge impact. When you add just something that doesn't need to be there, if you add it, it creates a whole if I'm trying to think of any nitpicks, can't really think of any. Nothing too, because like I said, yeah, it's a confusing movie to watch. You may not get everything at first, but I think it deserves another viewing. You're not expected to know everything on your first. So I'm gonna give it, on my scale, it's a 10. It's a 10. An A+.
Damn.
I think it deserves it.
Yeah, I could see
It's definitely
that.
a movie. I think it's a movie I'm definitely gonna watch again. Especially,
Oh,
it's a
I'm
movie.
definitely gonna watch it
It's
again.
a movie you're definitely gonna want.
I liked what
take
you
away-
said about you don't want to look away. Like it's very intriguing, and you do want to just see what happens next.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's just on my. I think it's an A+ movie. I think it deserves an A+. I can't think of anything that really tanks it. Not like you said, Josh. The build up, like you said, the build up. You said it kind of started really slow. I guess I didn't feel that. I didn't feel it being slow. I think once they got into the village, was probably like in 20-25 minutes of the. Yeah, like there's no action. There's not a lot of action, but there's action. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? There's no action,
Yeah.
like violence, but there's stuff that makes you want to watch. So yeah, 10 out of 10 for my score. A plus divided by 4. Josh, it is a 9.
Wait, dude. Oh yeah, shit. A 9.
Yeah.
A
Hey,
9.
Burns, what'd you get it?
I-
Oh yeah,
Me?
8.7. Yeah,
I gave it an
8.7.
8.7, just like you.
Fuck. Oh, those are my passwords. Those are my. That's not my movie ratings. Ah, shit. All right, a 9. Fuck. Midsommar. 9.0. All right, boys. That changes up our rankings. Coming in at number 1, we still have The Departed. I'm guessing it's gonna be staying there.
For one more movie until it gets erased.
Until Iron Man becomes.
I don't
10 out
think
of 10.
Iron Man's gonna beat
I don't
it.
think I'm gonna-
No, Iron Man's not gonna beat it. Anyway, we got The Departed coming at number 1 at a 9.1. Midsommar coming at number 2 at a 9.0. Goodfellas at an 8.65. I couldn't remember what it was. I think it was an 8.7, but I gave it 8.65. Anyway, yeah, number 3, Goodfellas. Number 4, Below. And tied for number 5, Reservoir Dogs. And Apocalypto. Yeah, boys. So that kicks out It Man, La Bamba, and The Conjuring.
Aw.
Which is fair. But I think that was a fucking amazingly made movie, man.
Yeah.
A lot of fucking thought went into that shit. Well, we actually don't have to do a randomizer.
Yeah.
No,
Crazy.
that's it.
Crazy. Damn.
Yeah.
Iron Man.
Da-
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. All right, boys. Well, our final episode of the season is going to be the movie that started off probably the biggest movie franchise, most earning movie franchise of all time, I think. Fucking Marvel.
Well, I mean, with the amount of
Marvel,
movies they
the
created, yeah, no
MCU.
shit, they're gonna
Yeah,
make the most.
exactly. Fucking.
Like, you can't compare like
MCU,
Harry
dude.
Potter and Star Wars to
Nah.
Marvel because they outweigh them. In
I
terms
know
of
you
number of
can't.
movies.
Well, I mean, they're both owned by Disney now. We'll probably see more Star Wars movies. Anyway,
Not.
no, I hope they're good. Shut up, Tanner.
Fucking Disney. I hate Disney so much.
Dude, it's not bro. Just give
It is Disney.
give
Give it back to George Lucas, please.
no, fuck no. Prequels
Please.
suck,
Okay, whatever.
but the prequels at least had a thing. No, give it back to Dave Filoni, dude. Give it to
Yeah,
Dave
yeah,
Filoni.
yeah. Give it to Dave.
Give it to fucking Dave Filoni. Get.
By the way, Dave Filoni directed Iron Man.
Did he direct this one?
He directed Iron Man. Yeah.
No shit, dude.
hmm
Yeah, this motherfucker knows what he's doing, dude. Give it.
He
to
directed
Dave.
all 3 Iron Mans, 2 and 3.
No, that wasn't Dave Filoni. That was
Yeah,
the guy
yeah.
who played Happy.
Oh, John Favreau. Sorry, I'm
That's
an idiot.
John
Sorry,
Favreau.
sorry. 2
Yeah,
Johns.
that's
Sorry.
what I thought. Yeah, that's John Favreau. John Favreau's lit. He helped on The Mandalorian. But yeah, dude, give it to fucking Dave Filoni. Come on. Just do it already. Christine Kennedy, is that her name?
Kathleen Kennedy.
Kathleen Kennedy. Damn it, that's close.
Bitch.
Give it the fucking retire. Give it to Dave Filoni. He knows what he's doing, dude. He knows Star Wars. We'll go on that rant one day. Anyway, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Join us at our next episode for the one, the only Iron Man that released in 2008. I'm excited. You know,
I'm
It's-
excited for this one as well.
honestly, dude, I could classify this
It's-
as a classic.
This
just
is my
because-
favorite MCU
Yeah.
movie. Like, I'm sorry.
I
It
think
is.
I think it's my favorite MCU movie too.
I like Guardians of the Galaxy better.
Guardians of the Galaxy is fucking dope.
I
I
love
mean,
Guardians of the
I
Galaxy.
love.
But it's
I
but
mean,
it's not
Sorry,
Infinity.
I like real Marvel superheroes and not unpopular characters.
Yikes!
Oh,
God
huh?
damn!
Real? What the fuck you mean, bitch?
Dave Bautista.
Infinity
Yeah.
War is sick.
He was
dude.
a
Come on.
shitty wrestler. Now he's a shitty actor. I'm just kidding.
Bro, he's funny as hell. Get out of here! Oh my god! All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining. Have a wonderful day.
Yep,
Have a
see
wonderful
ya.
day.
Peace.